Hi, I'm Haley Rollins. I'm a senior at the University of Lynchburg with a double major in studio art and business administration, and this is my senior studio project. So for my senior studio project, I actually do not have a name for it yet, but it is going to be on celebrating one's inner child, which is why I'm asking for child volunteers to make artwork. So basically what's gonna happen is I'm going to have different groups of children participate. This is actually the paper and cutting group. So I'm going to have the child create an artwork that I will base my artwork off of. So when your child submits back to me their artwork, I'm going to take that and create it into an avant-garde fashion piece that I will be displaying for my senior project in my show in May. So all credits will go to your child. I'll have their name and their original art piece that you guys send back, and if they have a title, posted on my website, which I'll link at the end of this, so that I do give credit, all credit due to your wonderful little artist. So in your kit, you're going to get a few different things. It's going to have yellow paper, pink paper, blue, and like a holographic one, and then a glue stick. And then also a larger sheet of white paper. And what you're going to do is, I'll show you an example, but you're going to create a bunch of shapes and patterns and glue them to the larger sheet of white paper. Not referencing anything specific like the sun or a car, and I will have written instructions in here as well. So I'm actually going to give you a few examples, as well as I'm going to do a time lapse of how I did mine. I will be referencing two different ways. So one of them I will just be free cutting shapes with my imagination and a pair of scissors. Another one I will be drawing the shapes on the piece of paper first. That's actually how I'll start it out, and then I'll begin to just freeform cut shapes. Something that I did not provide in child's kits is a pair of scissors. So hopefully you have a pair at home to complete this project. Also, before I begin, parents, please keep an eye on your child while this is being done. I mean, scissors are dangerous, and even paper cuts. Also, please keep in mind that you should probably set like a time limit so that you do not go overboard on designs, because I know I get excited and sometimes I love it and I keep going and then I don't like it anymore. Also, it is not important what direction that you do place your things on the paper. You can work horizontally or you can work vertically. I've been switching it up every time that I have completed a project, but you can also like it vertically, and then when you submit it to me, I like it horizontally, so it's not really a big deal to start with. Okay, so that took longer than I thought, but some notes for that are, these are some of the shapes that I did with the pencil shapes I created beforehand. So I have plenty of paper left, but I recommend not doing small intricate shapes because that took me a very long time. But I'm about to start the time lapse of me putting the shapes together. Also, most of the geometric shapes that I created, I did after the drawings with leftover pieces, and it's easier to always do those off an edge. The other thing to be mindful of is where this is, because I noticed on a lot of my shapes that I'm just going to have to use that, or the side with my pencil on it. So it's just things to keep in mind. Okay, so I just finished. It took a lot longer than I was expecting, so just be prepared to have a good amount of time to do this. Also, I learned that the glue that I got is not the best, which is good for not getting surfaces super sticky. But if you have another glue at home, I'd recommend using that over this. Even if it's the liquid glue, you can always put a little in a cup or on a plate and then use a cotton swab, or I think it's called a cotton swab, or something to paint the glue onto the cutout pieces and then put them on the paper. But this is what I came up with. I really love the colors and everything, so I hope you guys are as excited as I am about that. And again, it works any direction. I'll probably be playing with that later to see which way I like it the most. Definitely not that way. I think I like it vertically. But also, you do not have to fill the whole page. I also didn't even use all the pieces that I cut out, or if you feel like as you go you want to cut out more pieces, feel free. It's honestly just whatever you feel like makes it work. I also really think that you should try layering some of your pieces. I did that a lot in these areas. This is a 2-layer, and some of them even have 3 layers on top of each other, and then it also covers onto this one. I prefer creating organic shapes. I think they're really fun, but they're also kind of difficult to cut out. But those are easier to do with pencil first. But also, if you go back in later, a lot of the shapes that you have left, these are very beautiful shapes that I have from cutting out exact shapes instead of cutting off pieces. But honestly, that's cool. And I chopped those off of random pieces. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this project. Yeah. As I said before, in my experience with this project, I did have a lot of paper left over, but if you do run into the problem where you run out of paper, before you start, you'll probably want to cut these off. And so when you do, that is also how you'd find out how to get more of this kind of paper. This is at the top of all of them at Michael's. This one is not probably gonna have it on there, but this should not be too hard to find in Michael's. It's in the same section, and there's a bunch of holographic sheets. If you get the wrong one, I'm not gonna be upset if you have to go and get that. But hopefully you have plenty of paper, because honestly, this is all I've used with the holographic one. And my other ones are still pretty full besides the blue. I used a lot of that one. But yeah, hope you have fun with this project.